So everyone watching, I'm sitting here with Josh Jackson, who I've known for, I want to say 3 years now. Right at almost 3 years, right? So,
Yeah.
and all from the solar world. That's how we met through my brother Bennett, because Josh knew Bennett. And then Josh actually helped our team in San Diego, management wise, and just selling both door to door, virtual, all that good stuff. Comes from the door to door background. In Vivint. Where did you start? Which one did you start with besides Vivint?
No, just Vivint Smart Home for 3 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's the quick background. And because I'm really running at this fast, and I know you're in a hurry, Josh, is let's give them the kind of the full scoop of where did you go from solar? Like, let's start 2 years ago, maybe, or a year and a half ago, when you started kind of doing virtual and in-home appointments, and you're starting to see what you want to do. Give us a story there, and then let's lead up to this last week, Sunday, let's call it, was your first team. Your team closed 10 deals in a week, and that's your first 2-digit week. Of course, you're growing, but still, that's what the exciting part is. That's why we're here. So here we go. Go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that, and I've learned a lot from you and Bennett, definitely working with you guys. And went from the virtual space of doing a lot of online leads and YouTube ads and all these different things to generate leads, and then close virtually during COVID. When everything started opening back up, I wanted to jump back into door to door just because of the opportunity to, make more money and not having the overhead of online leads, which are great. And it's definitely supplemental, I believe, to a door-to-door team, but definitely not a major source of your company. I think that's definitely an add-on. So I went back into the door-to-door space, and then I was able to get an amazing opportunity working with, my friend Cody in the industry, being able to go to in-house appointments that were set through online leads, but not virtually. So I was able to go in. I was doing about 4 or 5 appointments a day. A lot of the days I ended up living out of a hotel, even though I had an apartment in San Diego. It was easier to be in area just because my day was so crazy. So that was really awesome. I got a ton of experience closing. I've seen a few different ways that different companies run their business and sort of their programs with door-to-door and online stuff. And really just throughout that, I was able to take different pieces of ways companies do it well, and other parts that I believe are lacking a little bit that other companies did well. So I was able to take that with my brother Alex, and we ended up starting our own company, moving back to the East Coast, just doing our own thing with Everlast Energy. And we totally took it from the ground up. I mean, we didn't really have too much of a plan on how we were going to recruit. We didn't recruit anybody from the industry. We took everybody from ground up. So, I mean, we have 6 sales reps right now. And then me and Alex is 8. We're building our back end team right now. So it's all still coming together, trying to push social media and everything. But
when did you officially launch Everlast? So give people an understanding there.
3 months ago is when we first launched. Yep.
So 90 days. Everything you're talking about is in the last 90 days. Got it. Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So the last 90 days, and we had a few, pitfalls in the beginning. Sure. I guess not really looking into interconnection times in certain areas and seeing how long installs were actually going to take. So I was self-funding the program in the beginning, without any money coming in from installs or anything like that, and paying new reps, trying to onboard guys and pay for systems and all of that. So we had a couple times we had to pivot to different markets and different areas of states to really find somewhere we're going to be able to get faster installs, really start getting paid, so then we can scale and recruit and have different commission models and upfront pay and things like that. So really we started taking off, I would say about 2 months ago. So in about 60 days is really when we kind of figured out our systems, and of course it's still a work in progress. We're always adapting and always trying to find ways to create better systems, which definitely, having a CRM on the back end helps with, and being able to organize stuff. I think a lot of companies struggle with that, It's something I've learned from Brent, is to be able to stay extremely organized. And the people who leave the best notes, close the most amount of deals, especially with follow-up.
Yep.
So I try to ingrain that in my guys. But yeah, so what brought us to 10 deals this past week? It's pretty awesome. I think really is just consistent training. I've talked to tons of people in the industry, and my 5 going on 6 years in the industry, door to door. A lot of people complain about not having consistent training or people being there for them. So all of the guys that I've recruited and trained are all from the ground up. They've never done any door to door. They've never done any sales. They just have drive and the passion to do it, and that's really all I think
Mhm.
it is. One of my old managers, Richie, always said sales is 2 things: it's confidence and knowing how to read. So if you have the confidence to get, door slammed in your face and people that say no to you all day, and you want to give me all of you, then I promise to give you all of me. And that's what's brought us to where we are now. And guys see that. I work harder than everybody. Maybe not my partner Alex, but we work all the time, like 80 hours a week. And I think guys seeing that and leading from the front is infinitely important to growth. And then also just creating the vision of what this could be. What this is sort of a catalyst to bigger things. I always let my reps know that this isn't always the end all be all. People have bigger aspirations and goals. And the most influential training I've had, I think, was from Adam Webb when I first started doing door to door. Is really just honing in on your goals and getting really, really clear on goal setting, because that is the utmost importance to pushing you to different limits, or pushing past limits rather, and breaking through
Mhm.
barriers in your life. So just setting those goals and then consistent training to help reps achieve those goals. And it's got us to 10 deals last week, and we closed 4 yesterday on Monday. So we're going to put that 10-week to the test.
Sweet. Okay, good. So I had to unpack a bunch of stuff. Door to door is your main lead source. Consistent training is where, and pivoting, if I'll just use the word pivoting, meaning like the areas that you're docking and the different utilities and counties that you're in, is like, okay, let's stop selling there, let's sell over here. Because that has, I think nobody ever gets to say they understand that until they are the dealer giving sales reps money.
Yeah.
The sales
Right.
rep will say, all of us as sales reps will say to whoever's paying us, oh yeah, I get it, but get me paid. And we're like, you got to understand, the payment comes through me. It doesn't come from me. It just comes through me. So like,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's an interesting concept. So it's good. In other words, you want to keep everyone motivated, but they're motivated by money in the end. It's the result they're looking for. So if you can't get it to them, you got to pivot. And that was smart. Consistent training, drive and passion, sell the vision, and where you're going with it. What would you say? I'm actually going to do this will hit home in a personal way, not personal like emotionally. I just mean like, since you and I work together, Switch to Solar doesn't exist now, right? When we were working there, tell me the difference, because I think we did a decent job at this. We could always do better. I don't think we were the best. I think if we were the best, we actually would have sold for a lot more. So like, or not sold at all, right? But here's what I'm getting to. We held trainings all the time, like meaning you were talking about consistent training. So what do you mean? What makes consistent training compared to other training better? Because I think you saw us struggle a bunch. You saw me get super pissed off in our team. So like what and that whole time we're consistently training, right? So every week, 3 times a week, we're like, okay, we got our weekly meeting, and then we got our this, and then we got our door to door, and then we're shadowing, and we're doing all this stuff. So what do you mean? What's working for you? I guess give some people some tips on what's working for you in the beginning right now.
Yeah. I would say just really sitting in with each rep and understanding their goals and their vision for their life. Because we're only here to serve our reps and help them achieve bigger things in their lives. It's not about the company so much succeeding as it is each individual rep. So being able to help each person individually will then grow the company naturally, right? So I believe just being there as much as you can, understanding each rep's personal life, and just letting them know, you're there for them, not so much as you have to be in their personal life or trying to give them advice on different things, but just understanding each rep as their own person, and what their goals are, and then always holding them to those goals. So
Yeah.
touching back on that. And then I think just daily check-ins, just making sure that you guys are meeting every single day. That's something we struggle with in the beginning, is we try to give people some freedom, or we only meet, 2 or 3 times a week. In the beginning, it was really only two. But I think that giving people too much room to do their own thing leads to people slacking off, or sort of mediocrity, and just getting happy with, the commissions you make in solar. So you get one or two closed deals and then taking time off. Really just, I think, just creating the vision of the day-to-day grind and focusing on numbers through competitions. It really drives that volume. It's just keeping it as a numbers game, not how much money you're making, just putting up numbers and winning different prizes and company gear. I think it's definitely helped us.
Gotcha. Yeah, all the incentives and fun things to do. I'm always surprised how much we'll work hard for a hat or a t-shirt or a bag.
Right.
Or
yeah, it's
something.
craziest concept.
I mean, we all understand that thing probably costs $50 or $100 even if it was $200. But we're like, I'm gonna earn that $200. So
Yep.
but yeah, that's good. Okay, well, cool. Yeah. So what tactic wise, what did you guys do then to get all these leads that you closed last week? Were all door to door, correct?
Yeah, we only do door to door.
So you guys did door to door. You're out setting. What's your model? Is it setter? And you have your couple closers, correct? Setter closer model.
Yep. So it's a setter closer model right now, but we really want to build everybody to be able to be self-sufficient. As we start growing more and more, I'm sure we're going to see how we get bottlenecked and how we're going to have to pivot again. I think that a strict setter closer model in the future could be beneficial. Now that we are having installs going in, we're able to put money back into the company, and be able to transition other people out of their current jobs, because I want to take people out of their current jobs and then show them the life of door to door, because it is most certainly its own lifestyle, and it's not for everybody. But being able to at least help them pay their bills until they're able to start closing deals. We want all of our guys to be able to close their own deals. We don't want people just setting appointments and then people just closing, because what I found is the closers they get too comfortable. They'll even not even show up to deals sometimes, or they'll say that they did go and you have to be there, as an owner, or the setter reaches out and was like, there's no way the rep went to this appointment. This guy was super down. There's not a chance he went there. We have to call him and find out the rep didn't go there. So I think that over time that ends up happening. More so making everybody self-sufficient, and then building that vision of growing your own office will help them create the vision more than just, I'm going to go to, 3 appointments today and that's it. I don't have to knock doors. You always have to have that drive to knock doors and that work ethic. And I think once you lose that, you start to regress, basically, or go back
Yeah.
and retract as a rep. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's I've never knocked doors, so I can't even speak to that. But I have worked every day from home, and you said something that stood out that I wrote down is door to door is definitely a lifestyle. It's like a specific lifestyle you have to understand and buy into.
Right.
I can relate to just working from home. Most people that I know in my neighborhood, if you would call where I live now as the neighborhood, but neighbors that are 5 miles away, they don't get it. They don't understand what I do. They see me on my porch reading a book in the morning, and they're like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how are you doing this? Like, not how I'm jealous, just like, what do you do?
Right.
And so and then to their point, how do you work from home? Don't your kids and your dogs and your wife or whoever's home drive you crazy? And the answer is yes. So like, you have to build certain things in. So door to door is no different. Like you have, because see, I have to still back up to my office. This is my office in our back corner of our property. and I have literally Starlink powering this meeting, right? Like that freaking little satellite. And so that's how I'm running and getting sales. So if I was selling solar, which I have sold solar virtually, that's totally fine. But and I've sold a lot of stuff. It doesn't matter if it's solar or not, but I've sold a lot of stuff just like this. And the only thing I can say is that grind every day. If you do not start by saying, I'm going to kick the shit out of this day, and I don't care if I'm tired or not. But I am going to, because I have a vision of where I'm going, and that'll keep me going when I'm tired and worn out and dehydrated and all those things. That has been the key for me, understanding why people do and don't choose to just kick ass. And I've definitely been there where I chose not to. I've definitely been the person that said,
sure,
oh, I'm trying my hardest. And then when I look back, I can see I'm not trying my hardest.
No.
So, yeah. So anyways, I think that's powerful for people to see. And that it leads to these weeks. I know you got to go, but I wanted to make sure I appreciate you and getting on this call, but good work, dude, on getting this going. You've told me years ago, 2 years ago, that you were going to do this somehow anyways. That was the plan. You know what I mean? And here you are, and you've gotten past the first hurdle of shit, we need cash flow. We have sales, but we need cash flow. So now you're starting to see some. You're not out of that, but you'll get out of that, because a 10-week deal, 8 of them get installed, hopefully all 10. And usually the first ones do, frankly. Like, you have a lot, your ratio is good at first. You're like, 95% of them get installed. And then suddenly you go for 200 in a month, and you're like, we have 85 of them, 85% getting installed. And it kind of sucks. But the point is you're in a good spot, man. So I'm proud to see people like yourself, because you're also fucking young. So everyone that does not know, I think Josh is 26. 26? 25?
Correct.
26.
26.
Yeah. So, and same with Alex is what? Are you guys the same age, aren't you? So
yeah, 26, 18 days apart.
Yep. Yeah. So these two brothers are out hustling, which I can relate, because my brother and I, Bennett and I, were hustling, but I was way better than Bennett. So let's just be real. I hope Bennett hears that. I'm just playing. All right. Well, I'll let you go, man. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just appreciate, having me on, and, be able to talk to other people in the industry. And, I'm always open to bouncing ideas off of anybody, and so anybody that wants to, please reach out. I'm more than open to sharing anything. And I'm always continuously learning.
How do they get a hold of you, my man?
So you guys can reach out to me on Instagram at Josh_Jackson47. And then I'm also on Facebook, and then our Instagram page is Everlast.Energy. So if you want to check out our company, still newer on the Instagram side for the company. We're hiring a social media manager tomorrow. So start popping off with that. But, I always tell my reps, I'm nothing special. I'm just really good at finding mentors and, just replicating what other people do, because nothing is really new in this world. It's just replicated to be better. So if you guys have any piece of advice or want to reach out and bounce ideas, I'm more than happy to do so. And again, Brent, thank you for everything you taught me, especially with being able to follow up using, extreme follow-up, being able to have that CRM background to store data. I find companies out here that have been waiting, 6 months for the rep to call them back, and they probably don't even have the customer's number. So definitely have to follow up and use your own CRM for sure.
Yeah. For those that don't know, he uses he's in Extreme Follow-Up, or uses CRMX, our version, our custom version of CRM. And it's he does a good job at implementing it. he has head start, because we've used it for a little while, but he's also disciplined with it. So, and even then, just like we talked to earlier, anyways, I can get into this all day, man. So just thank you. This is awesome.
Thank you,
I'm excited to share this. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Take care, guys.
Hey, Dubs. Later.
See ya.